Hi guys, my name is Izzy Fuentes and welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be doing another self-help video about anxiety, which really goes close to home because I've been dealing with a lot of anxiety within the past year, so I feel like I have a lot to offer, especially how I overcame my anxiety. So, first step is how to tell if it's anxiety. Mostly, everyone always has anxiety. It's how to tell if it's a problem is where people have issues at. Anxiety is always good, except when it starts to interrupt your daily life or keep you from living your normal life. Like, there are my dogs back there. It's okay to be afraid of spiders. It's normal. But what's not normal is when you see a spider in a room and seal off the room for the entire day. That's not normal. That is anxiety. Or it's normal to be anxious about giving a presentation. But what's not normal is physically not being able to give a presentation. Like physically throwing up or getting to the point where you cannot or else you will break down. That is a problem. Or even just small stuff like not being able to grab a tissue in class or not answering phone calls. That is also anxiety. Some anxiety is good anxiety, like don't do heroin, good anxiety. Anxiety about stuff like cars is normal because, you know, people could get hit by cars. Anxiety is also very natural. It triggers our fight or flight response, which anxiety has been used by our ancestors to make sure that we don't die. So it is good. But what isn't good is when it gets out of hand or for the small stuff that isn't really worth it. For my treatment, I actually did anxiety treatment program, which was kind of hard. I mean, it's not the easiest thing because it does take a lot out of you, but the results are amazing. I can do things again, and it's so great. But basically, you have to confront what makes you anxious, or else you're never going to get over that anxiety. First step is to make a list of everything that makes you anxious. And number them from like 1 to 10, whichever one's the most anxious and whichever one's the least anxiety provoking. Start with the small stuff, like start to complete the small stuff. Like you list them from 1 to 10 and 1's like the easiest stuff and 10's like the hardest. Start with the 1s, start with the 2s, work your way up. And just because you did one anxiety-provoking situation does not mean that you're done with that specific problem. Just because you got up in class to get a tissue does not mean that you can just go back to your normal routine. You have to keep on fighting that anxiety that is trying to stop you. So, that's a really big thing. So, some stuff to help you cope with anxiety: diaphragmatic breathing or belly breathing, which I like to also call it square breathing, where you breathe in for 4, hold it for 4, breathe out for 4, hold it for 4. Square breathing. And do it over and over and over. Anxiety in general, using your coping skills really helps you get through the anxiety-provoking situations and can really help you. But also, don't get discouraged. It's okay to get anxious and it's okay to let it overcome you sometimes. But what's not okay is letting it overcome you all the time and having it be a continuous problem. And if you need to seek therapy, seek help. I did an anxiety treatment program, which basically they told me to do what made me anxious, which is the best thing in general, but for some people it's too hard and they need some medication to help get it to the point where it's manageable. So the next topic is medication. I personally take anxiety medication just because sometimes I'll just be anxious for no reason, or just bad anxiety or freaking out about something. It would just stop my ability to live my normal everyday life to the point, where I couldn't manage it. So I am on medication, and there's also two different types. Some medications you take to prevent anxiety, like once in the morning, once in the evening, and then there are kinds that you take in response to anxiety. Like, oh look, only take this when you're anxious, which, talk to your doctor about what's best for you. I was really against taking anxiety medication because I was afraid that I was going to get addicted to it. And in fact, I've had a friend who got addicted to it. Not in the sense of, oh look, it's like my crack and I need it. More in the sense of it keeps me from getting anxious and I cannot deal with my own anxiety. So that's really, just talk to your doctor about what works best for you. Seek help and seek therapy. This was a really short video, but I don't feel like I have that much to say about anxiety. Except, there are different types of anxiety. Like, you can tell, listen to your thought patterns when you have anxiety, like what goes through your heads. Like, let's say when you're really anxious about asking for help, they might think you look stupid, you are bothering them, that sort of a thing. Think about that, and then just try to correct and redirect your thinking, which is a really big thing. Reframing or redirecting your thinking. It's such a big thing, which, like, oh, I'm not bothering them. It's their job to help me. Hey, they want to help me because it makes their day go by faster. That sort of a thing. Or even, you're about to give a presentation in class. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna be stupid. No one's gonna like it, blah, blah, blah. But in reality, no one cares. Honestly, no one cares about your presentation. They're probably just paying attention just because they have to, or they're on their phones. Nobody cares, honestly. And I feel like I cared too much when I was really anxious, is that I cared about everything, which eventually when you get older and when you go through this a lot, you will eventually learn to let go and to not care about everything all the time. But it just takes time, and some people it happens sooner, other people it happens a lot later. Some people never get over their anxiety. Some people are on anxiety medication for the rest of their lives, and as long as you're not letting your anxiety defeat you and take over you and stop you from living your life, it's okay to have anxiety. It's okay to get butterflies whenever you talk to people at stores. It's okay. As long as you keep on doing what makes you anxious. And just because, oh, it doesn't make me anxious anymore, and you stop doing it, you still have to continue to do things that make you anxious or that don't make you anxious. Or else then you're just avoiding, which avoiding makes anxiety a lot stronger and makes it seem like it's even 10 times worse than what it actually is. Anxiety is not the easiest thing to deal with, but also it's one of the more simple things to deal with when it comes to how to deal with anxiety or how to manage it. It's more easier to figure that out, but something that always comes full circle is to always take care of yourself and to always do self-care and just make sure that you feel good and make sure that you slept well, ate well, everything, so that you can deal with your anxiety a lot easier and a lot better. But this is basically all that I have to talk about this topic. thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe, follow my Instagram, add me on Snapchat, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.